Talk Ticket with the programming. I'm Chase Ingram.
I'm Captain America.
And along with me is Bill Grumler.
Wolverine.
We got some floor plans, y'all.
Got the floor plans.
We got some floor plans. We are going to talk quarterfinals, predicting the programming of the 2023 quarterfinals, which we always love to do, especially when we get floor plans. It just makes it, does it make it more fun for you because you have something to go off of, so you feel like you can really get into what you, I don't know, what you're good at versus just like throwing something into space and hopefully it might get close?
I think it definitely puts us closer, 100%. I mean, it's kind of like when we do the open, we just kind of do our own thing. Like we have an equipment list and it's like, all right. And so the canvas gets very big. When they give us the floor plans, it really sets it up. It really gives you at least a roadmap. You're going down a certain path. So I can't see us being that far off kilter. However, with that being said, I do know how I would like things to go on certain events, and I'm probably sure that there won't be a lot of those that do happen. So nonetheless, whether we get them right or we don't get them right, what everyone at home gets is 10 free workouts to try with their setup. So I mean, all of you guys that are going to be trying, doing the quarterfinals at home or trying them or whatever, you got those 5 workouts plus my 5 workouts plus Chase's 5 workouts. So there's 15 workouts, right? You almost got a whole month of programming right there.
Oh yeah,
in one fell swoop. So
yes, that's a good point there, Matt. Matt Burns. How about those kettlebells? Yeah,
right.
It's a good question. Before we get into what our guesses are, this is a predicting the programming episode. We have our floor plans. Bill and I have our ideas of what. Usually, it's like what you would like to see, not what you think is going to see, because I don't know. I usually have more fun programming what I want than what it may be.
Right.
So
I agree.
I think maybe as a detriment to being able to actually guess what's going to happen is sometimes our downfall. Like,
no, you're right. But the other thing is we don't have a real good vibe, I don't think, on Boz's paint stroke yet. I mean, we could do that really well with Dave's. We knew that. We saw it for years and years and years. And even though Boz has set up, we saw what he did from last year, kind of the quarterfinals on, and then having the open this year. I still don't think people have a good understanding of what his path is. How does he weave through these things? How does he decide what are the things that he likes to do? I mean, I guess classically he likes the gymnastic stuff and the handstand stuff. So,
yeah,
we saw him do that at the games when he threw the handstand and the pirouettes and the
I like the pirouette.
The pirouettes. Thank you very much. Pirouettes.
All the pieces.
So I mean, like
pirouettes,
right.
Handstand.
I mean, we get the gymnastic part. I think just generally, but just because he likes those doesn't mean that he'll program those. So I think the canvas is still pretty open. So I decided just to have fun with what I saw on there. And even though I was kind of, honestly, I will say this, I was kind of bummed of some of the things that I saw. And we can get into those things if you want.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there were certain things that were missing on the floor plan, and granted, they could add a piece of equipment in there and do that thing. I think that's silly when that's done, but I get it.
Like it's not in there, and they bring
it's not in there, but they're going to put it in there.
It's
like that whole thing. Yeah. But I mean, then all of a sudden we see a rower again, we see rings again, we see a line against the wall again. So it's like all of a sudden there's something different, which we've already seen a lot of those things. So, that doesn't mean that it's going to be bad, that it can be or would be bad tests, but it's like, all right, I guess I'm going to have to put some of those things in there. So that's fine.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that. Well, some of that is, Boz talked about is like he doesn't really want to have a rhythm.
Right.
He's talked about Dave's rhythm, and people could kind of pick up on that, which I don't know if it was necessarily a negative or a positive. But he's right. That was he talked about that. I think he talked about that a lot on his podcast he did with Sherwood when they were breaking down the open. And one part of that where it's like, cool, I get that. Just switch it up on him. And Dave would do that. I mean, he did a whole regional that had no barbells. Like,
Right.
what's the rhythm with that? Or an
Right.
entire season that had no burpees. Like, what was the rhythm of that? But you could be like, okay, Dave's going to do something that's going to hurt and something that's going to be a little bit outside our comfort zone as far as a skill or where he puts it. And yeah, after 15 years, you probably start to catch on a little bit of nuances, maybe in his sort of rhythm. My hope is, you know, when you find people that try to be so counterculture that just like are not true to who they are. After
Right.
a while, they're like, hey, I'm just going to go right.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to mix it up on you. What I hope that doesn't happen, and I don't think Boss is this guy. He's been in the game for a long time. He's OG for a reason. But don't try to not have a rhythm that might disrupt the actual like quality of the test.
Oh, I agree. I agree with that 100%. And I think it's funny. I don't think any programmer can say that they don't. I'm trying not to have a rhythm. All artists have a rhythm. You
Right.
can look at singers, you can look at artists, you can look at programmers, you can look at coaches. Everyone has their vibe and the way that they communicate their fitness and what they're going to do on this one. They're programming on this. So, I mean, he will have that, and we will see what that is and how that is. You know, there will be certain things that he likes, but you know, we haven't had him that long. So, I decided to just try and have some fun. I mean, there was the post, and I got pissed when this came out too. When CrossFit put out the post, it's time to get heavy.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Cool.
really? On what?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know. I mean, I decided to kind of make my own. And
now with that being said, is I do not hold the those who publish on social media to have any clue what actually is going on the
100%.
unofficial floor and in the season. So like they'll just kind of
Totally.
throw shit out there randomly. And you're like, are you even watching?
Right.
You know what's
Right.
coming? So it's true. It's like, hey, first off, I think Soccer Mom just put that up. If you qualify for quarterfinals, masters, teams, indie, whatever, throw a hand in the chat. We'll throw your made it comment up on the screen as we're looking forward to that. But so what we're going to do is we're going to go through the floor plans, go through the equipment list, and then Bill and I are just going to give our 5 tests of what we think it could be based off the. What am I trying to say right now? Floor plan. My goodness. And maybe what we already did in the open and what we're looking for to quarterfinals, because you want that funnel, so to speak, to get more difficult as we go up. And that could be weight, skill set, intensity. I think intensity may be a big piece that we're lacking a lot of. Not a lot of. No, we're lacking a lot of intensity in the open.
A lot of it. A lot of.
There's relative intensity. There was difficulty. There was like, this is so hard, I can't even do it. But that's not. Intensity is defined by the level 1. So before we get into that, let's look at the equipment list that got released by the CrossFit Games back in, November, December. And they have here medicine ball, barbells, pull-up bar, kettlebells. Now,
Wait, what was that?
Kettlebells.
Right.
Jump rope, wall space, rings, 1 set, rower, dumbbells, bumper plates, plyo box, floor space. Now we'll trickle back to the kettlebells because that was the one we saw these floor plans. There are no kettlebells in the floor plans. And the first thing that just slapped me in the face was like, damn, all of that build up. Now, not build up from CrossFit. Let's put that out there too. All the build up was from us, the fans, the spectators, and the analysts of, are we going to get kettlebells in the open? Well, the answer was no. Like, okay, well, maybe we'll get them in quarterfinals. Well, it looks like the answer is going to be no.
Yeah.
Based off the floor plans. And as you said, if like they throw a kettlebell out there to be cute, I just think it's stupid. Like,
right.
Treat us like adults, please.
Right.
Like, we are not children that you need to like hide the Halloween candy from. Like, let's just have some fun, put it out there. That being said, I do think maybe the masters or the age groupers are going to see it in an online competition, or the teams are going to see it in online competition. But if you're going to put it with those, like, why not here? Like, I don't understand. But we'll wait and see what happens. I mean, we can't. I don't know. Maybe they will do the cutesy thing. But the other thing I want to look at was what we've had over the last 2 years of quarterfinals, because 2021 quarterfinals was Dave Castro's programming. 2022 quarterfinals, we have now come full circle in a year. of exclusively Boz's programming. At least like him overseeing and being the final say of what's to come. And so kind of look back to look forward. Let me pull this up here. I try to put together a little spreadsheet, and we can fill this in as we go. But it's a little hard to see. Whatever.
Whatever.
I covered you up. Put your face out of there. All right. 2021 first workout, 3 rounds for time. Strict handstand push-ups, 10 reps, 10 dumbbell hang power cleans, 50 double unders as fast as you can for 3 rounds. Rest a minute. And then kipping handstand push-ups, dumbbell shouldered overhead, and then 50 double unders, 3 rounds for time. All right. So like short burner gymnastics. It was interesting to have strict first and then kipping second, but they coupled the kipping with some shoulder overhead. So little burner there. We had the GHD rope climb pistol test, which was 180 reps of GHD sit-ups, alternating pistols, which was just a shit show of volume / rhabdo.
Yep. So
And
much.
that was a disaster. Hey, dude. Thank you. My son decided to walk in and show me he could do 1 jump in the air. Okay.
Heck yeah.
Before that, close the door. Thank you.
That's what it's all about.
I love
there.
you, Dylan.
1 jump.
That was
1
a
jump.
good jump. Later. Don't come back in.
Now get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out. The next one was the wall ball. 120 wall ball shots, 120 cal row, 20 and 14 pound ball, 10 to 9 foot target, which is bullshit. Oddly enough, they made
Totally.
women row a full 120, but gave them a shorter wall ball target. So maybe if that's your excuse, okay. 4 at Mac front squat, which they did for both indie teams and age groups, which was bullshit again. And then the 963 snatch burpee box jump over 185 and 135, but 30 inches for everyone because equality except for wall balls. And that was 2021. And then 2022 comes along. And we have the walking lunge with dumbbells mixed with handstand push-ups. So dumbbell lunges in like a suitcase carry or farmer carry, 30 handstand push-ups, 50 steps, 40 steps of a front rack, 20 deficit handstand push-ups. It was 3.5 inches and 2 inches for women, 30 walking lunges overhead, and then 10 strict handstand push-ups at the end. And on paper, you look at that and you're like, oh, why? That's a weird number at the end. But I mean, you talk to anybody that really did that test, and those 10 were.
It worked. Yeah.
Like it did its job.
100%. Yeah.
Did its job. The next test was the 3 rounds for time, 30 alternating pistols, 30 GHD sit-ups, and 10 ring muscle-ups. And I think that was when we finally had it with alternating pistols being programmed for online competition. Right? I mean, that was our big thing there.
100%, because there were just too many issues. It's something that you don't need to test online when there are just too many variables.
Mm-hmm.
Too many angles, too many weird things to see, too many ways to skim through there.
Yeah, it was bad. And then came the infamous shuttle run,
Debacle.
wall ball debacle. Yeah, wall ball, shuttle runs, rope climbs, where it ascended in reps in the middle and then descended down. Wall balls went from 8, 16, 24 to 32, all the way down back. Rope climbs went 1 to 4, back down to 1, and then shuttle runs went 4 to 16 to 24 to 30, whatever they actually wanted to do during the end. But a little pyramid chipper there. The one glowing part that I kind of forgot about was that it had 10-foot wall ball shots targets for all the men and the women.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
And then they stopped doing it.
Well, and we talked about that. We were all excited, and then everything got overshadowed by no one knew how to count shuttle runs.
Shuttle runs.
So then that's all we talked about the whole time.
Yeah, and the leaderboard disaster. So I forgot how happy I was about that. And then later they were like, no, 11 and 10 now. I was like, cool. And then one of the other total was test number 4, 1 clean anyway, 1 bench press, 1 overhead squat. And you and I both agree that even though this is called the other total, this should truly be called the CrossFit total.
I agree. Yeah. That's such a fun one.
It was great. I mean, it was a great isolated strength of test with 3 movements added together with all your weights. Totally cool with that.
Yeah.
Much more so than the regular total or the CrossFit total as it was.
Right.
And then last test, 30 cal row, 20 burpee box jump overs at 24 and 20 inches, and 10 snatches at 185 and 35. So just a sprint, mad dash to the finish line. And so those were our tests for the last 2 years. Um, we've seen something short. We've seen something highly technical under fatigue. Usually both involve snatches at the same weight, 185 and 135. If you look at this final test of row burpee snatches and the last year's final or the year before final test of the burpee box jumps and snatches.
I really like this one. I like that
too.
last test. I really like. I like the other one with the snatches and the burpee box jump overs, the 30-inch box.
Mhm.
I like that one too.
Yeah.
That's why I think that we're going to see something like that again as we come up with that same setup minus the rower
Mhm.
on the floor plans here. But it is interesting to see. For you, what would you think would be like? Obviously, the open is all inclusive. Get everyone through and move the top 10% into another qualifying role. It used to be in the old days we had the open, then it was kind of like the regionals, like, okay, now it's going to be just heavy and we're just going to beat the shit out of you, and then we get to the game and you get to do all the crazy fun stuff. What do you think, what do you feel that there should be, the quarterfinals are supposed to be like? Yes, we're going to be qualifying people to the semis. Do you think this is where we should get heavy, or do you think that there are movements that don't need to be tested at this place? Like they should actually only kind of be reserved. Like we talked about pistols. Pistols
Mhm.
shouldn't be here. Pistols should be in semis where you could actually have people on the floor seeing it
Yeah.
up close and personal. Do you think there are other movements out there that are like that, or what do you think would be like the main priorities for the quarterfinals getting out of here?
That's a good question. I always look back on some of my favorite programming every year in the game season ends up usually always being the age group tests at the CrossFit Games.
The last handful of years, yeah, for sure.
Right? They're
Yeah.
just classic, old school CrossFit. Good test, varied tests, right? And when I say classic CrossFit, I don't mean just a bunch of WMG triplets.
Right.
Like they're all good things. And I think here is not the place to get cute. I don't think this is the place where you need to like throw a wrench at anybody, a little gimmicky thing in the system. Just keep it simple. If we're going to say 5 tests, I would say 2 to 3 tests in that 10 to 15 minute range, between 2 to 4 movements in those. Have something that's 20 plus, and then have something that's short, fast, and you can have short, fast, and heavy.
100%. Yeah,
Right?
I agree.
Look at the one you talked about last year in the finale. You had the row, the burpee box jumps, and 10 snatches. 185 and 135 isn't necessarily extremely heavy as far as testing the weightlifters or the strong men, but like you couldn't fake that weight at the intensity at which you had to go.
Right.
So if you were not strong, you could not move that bar at the speed at which you needed to make semifinals.
No, I agree. And I think that same thing. Like there were, we've had a lot of talks about, what the open looked like and were the tests like following, and maybe this is something that maybe CrossFit should even think about, this kind of skewing off the side a little bit, but what are the mission statements of each one of the qualifiers? Because then that would kind of guide each of the steps as they go along. I mean, the open, here are the priorities. We should be programming to these priorities so that we can move that group to the next set. Same thing for quarterfinals. Quarterfinals, I think, okay, like now we don't have all the people that are like your general population CrossFitters. These are people that are like the best people in your gym that are going to be making it, generally speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Now they need to be tested. They're the ones that can do RX stuff. They're probably doing RX every time in the gym. They're stronger athletes. They have the better engines. So now they need to be pushed to that limit. Now it doesn't need to be game style grinding necessarily, I don't believe, but you're right. We should still be in the realm of classic CrossFit. There should be weightlifting, but not stupid, so light that it's meaningless type of weightlifting. Well, one, especially if we're doing a lot of like online, we should definitely do wall walks again. I mean, might as well have them in there. Having a movement that's going to be so hard to judge, but it's time. The good athletes, your good athletes, need to get dumped off like the very sub-average athletes in the open got dumped off coming out of the open. That's what I think needs to happen here. It has to have that sort of feel where people come in not because they want to play, not because they think that they're going to be qualifying right away. Like you get the ones that are like right at the 9. But we had a guy, dude, I was so bummed. We had a guy that was 91%
Oh.
on Monday at
Oh,
5.
no.
By Wednesday at 5, he was 89%.
Damn.
He was I was bummed for him. I was really bummed for him.
That sucks.
And that's one of those things. It's like, okay, and so now he's like, okay, I need to make a decision. Like, how am I going to push this? But that's that line is you want to make it enticing so that those people want to get in. Like, you want to go in and just get beat around a little bit. Like, that's okay. You have to. That's how you're going to know. But I think that's what the quarterfinals needs to do is very classic CrossFit stuff. You're right. Does not need to be cute.
Mm-hmm.
And with the layouts, I mean, even with that, and I think me and you've been doing this a long time. I don't think we would make something. We would, if it was us, wouldn't make something cute.
Right.
It's not gimmick time yet. It's not like I want fit people, people that have the better engine of the fit group and the ones that are stronger of the fit group to move on. Because then I want to see them all battle live person.
I like that.
So.
Wad Zombie says, Bill Ingram, how's it going? And if nobody knows what he's talking about,
it's such a we are not good like that, dude.
That is not a good look.
That is not. It's not good.
Of all the combos that he put up there, I was like, oh man, I feel like we're two relatively not unattractive gentlemen, and this was not a good blend.
That did not do well for us right there.
That was not a good blend, but thank you for trying. Thank you for trying. Totally in agreement with you. And what I would like to see tested is, two-prong in the open is like, can we get the top 10% to quarterfinals while letting everyone else play in the sandbox a little bit? Not everybody, right? A little bit. And so you filter out the top 10% adequately. Here, the same thing you're talking about is that some people are going to come up here and now they're going to be the ones that can barely play in the sandbox.
Yes.
And then the mid-pack ones are just not going to make semifinals. And then those that are semifinal games caliber athletes should get tested in a way in quarterfinals that they are aware of what they need to work on to get better at semifinals.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want these athletes to take a test and not know the results of their own fitness and holes going into semifinals. So it's a test that really does need to have both in there. And that's a tough thing to do. But I think easier in quarterfinals.
I agree.
It doesn't need to be 180 GHD sit-ups, pistols, and rope climbs. Like, we don't need that, right? Nor do we need a full rep max front squat. The 2021 quarterfinals was just a bad test, right?
Yeah.
2022 was much better. We just had people screwing it up, right? So when we look at this coming setup.
Uh-oh.
Oh, hey.
Uh-oh.
Say hi.
Dylan, come and talk to the world.
Hi to the mic.
Hi.
Hi, Dylan.
There you go. There you go. All right, so we're going to pull up the floor plans. All right, so let me share this tab here. Working through. All right, now the floor plans as they are reading now, the first one was always fairly interesting, actually. So we have a wall, open wall space, tape line, 10 inches from the wall, which is the same tape line we had for wall walks and handstand push-ups.
Yep.
Right, but we don't have a secondary wall walk line, so those are out.
And they have the 30-inch standard on that.
Yeah.
So
the 30-inch standard, 10 inches. So to me, it screams handstand push-ups.
100%. Yeah.
We have rings that can be put in two different positions. It just has to be 5 feet from the barbell. There's a barbell that needs to be at minimum 8 feet from that 30-inch tape line that's from the wall. And then there needs to be a stretch of 25 feet, which can either be coming off of two different lines. So there's two different ways you can set this up. But basically you need a tape line, 10 inches from the wall, 30 inches in width, barbell 8 feet from the tape line, rings 5 feet from the barbell, and somewhere there's a 25-foot open space line. Floor plan number 2 is just a dumbbell and a jump rope, which is kind of nice to just say that and move on. Floor plan number 3 for test number 3 is a plyo box with a tape line through the middle, and then a barbell that needs to be 5 feet from the plyo box. Just those two pieces of equipment. Then you have a GHD and a rower. in test number 4. And then in test number 5, you have a pull-up bar, a rope, and then a barbell 8 feet from both of them.
Yep.
So let's back up to floor plan number 1, which is a lot going on there. So let's do what we usually do is where we'll just go through all of them. Do you want to run through all of your 5, or if you've got some 6s in there? I don't know.
I don't have a 6. I just went straight off of what the plans were.
I did.
Let's do this. I'll do mine. You do yours. We'll go like 1 and 1.
1 and 1. Okay.
1 and 1. We'll do it that way.
All right. So
Okay.
floor plan number 1, we've got the rings, the wall, tape lines, 25 feet, and a barbell.
Okay. So obviously it's going to be handstand push-ups in there. I can't see what else that line would be other than if they're trying to be cute and mess with you. But so you have that. You have some sort of a shuttle. I don't think that they would do shuttle runs again. I hope that that is not the case. I had one version with the shuttle run in it, but then I changed it to handstand walking. So I did that for the 25-foot distance on there. And then we have the rings and the barbell. So here's what I had. 20-minute cap.
Okay.
We're doing 50-foot handstand walk.
Oh.
50 handstand push-ups.
Okay.
50-foot handstand walk. 40 deadlifts. So 225, 175. 50-foot handstand walk. 30 ring muscle-ups. 50-foot handstand walk. 40 deadlifts. 50-foot handstand walk. 50 handstand push-ups.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
Halpin, no, there will not be wall-facing handstand push-ups.
No way. No way. No way.
You stop saying that. JR,
So,
that includes you.
So on this one, what I was thinking was, okay, we have volume. We have a little bit of weight with the volume on the deadlifts. That's fine. But we saw what the beasts could do with the handstand push-ups in the last open event.
Mm-hmm.
And they went through it like it was no big deal. What I wanted to see here, and this is what we were talking about, is like your good athletes versus your elite level that should be advancing. They should be able to do that the handstand push-ups, no big deal.
Okay.
You know, those aren't going to be any issue. The 50 handstand push-ups, okay, one, you're coming off your handstand walk. That's the first part. And
right.
It's not strict. So you're gonna be working the you're gonna have people that'll hop on there and stay on there a long time. But to be able to have that at the end is kind of the piece that I'm looking at. Like, okay, again, your elite level athletes will be able to move through the handstands, and then that last set of 50, those are going to be very expensive 50 or reps at the end as people are getting into those. So I want to see that push. And again, you're using your whole body on that. It's not just who has very strong shoulders, or you're going to lose someone, like a Laura Horvath type where it's a strict deficit, paralleted sort of thing. I just want a volume rather than like a deficit setup is what I'm looking at.
Run through that one more time for me.
Okay. 50-foot handstand walk. So down and back. 50 handstand push-ups.
Anyway?
Yeah. That I would say anyway. I'm thinking kipping.
Got it. Okay.
50-foot handstand walk, 40 deadlifts.
Wait.
225, 175.
175?
Isn't that the 70%?
125.
225. Oh, geez, 155. Yeah. Oh, you know why? Because I was originally had it at 255.
Okay. I was like,
yeah. Sorry, my bad.
I'm sorry, ladies.
Sorry. 50-foot handstand walk, 30 ring muscle ups. 50-foot handstand walk, 40 deadlifts. 50-foot handstand walk, 50 handstand push-ups.
All right.
And again, the 30 handstand push-ups, yeah, that's a big number, but we just did 20, and our elite level athletes were able to do that in just a couple sets. So 30 for them is not going to be a big deal. For the other ones, it's going to be a big deal. And that's at split we want.
Okay. I am building this out so people can see this as we go along. Oh, you guys are watching the whole time. Cool. I thought I was hiding it. Okay.
You're first.
My first is taking a little page out of Dave's book and adding a little Boz flavor to it, because we saw something like this sort of in the final one. And I didn't get what I wanted, so I want something else. I'm going to go 3 rounds, 15 overhead squats at 95 and 65, followed by 15 handstand push-ups. Rest a minute. 3 rounds. 10 ring dips. Sorry. 15 overhead squats. It'll always be the same. 10 ring dips. 3 rounds. Rest a minute. 3 rounds. 15 overhead squats. And 5 handstand walk lengths. So 3 rounds for time, 15 overhead squats at 95 and 65, 15 handstand push-ups. Bing, bing, boom, boom, boom. 3 rounds for time, 15 overhead head squats, 10 ring dips. And then 3 rounds for time, 15 overhead squats, 5 handstand walk lengths at 25 feet per.
All right. All right.
A lot of squat volume because we had 0 in the open. I'm picking ascending difficulty movements. I'm picking the handstand walk, spin, kipping because of what Boz talked about. You should earn your way to kip by going through strict, which I get it. So I think he's bringing it back to the demographic that I guess earned their right to be here. And then the ring dips as the new thing on the rings. It'd be weird. I'm curious if they would bring in the ring muscle-ups again.
Oh, and I was thinking about that. But I just think I like the idea of the ring dips. I mean, they're hard to judge in real competition, let alone on online competition. How do you think they would do that?
I don't know. That's the problem. But then again, I don't think they think about these things. So that's why I put them.
That's true. No, I get it. I get that.
I think people they'll say, hey, rings here, and then like any type of lockout that they would say on the dip, like fully locked out in the length of the ring, and then everybody's going to do the hinging thing and cheat the system and loophole it just like they don't think about.
Right.
That's what I think could happen. And then overhead squats, lightweight, high volume, just a big heavy lift or a big heavy volume test when it comes to that. So that's my one based off the floor plans.
Okay. All right.
All right. So let's look at floor plan number 2. Okay. Floor plan number 2 is just the jump rope and the dumbbell.
The dumbbell weight, we had 70 and 50, right? And 35? Are those all on there?
And I think 25's like all the way down.
Okay. I took this, the one that I did was similar to the thruster double under one. This was going to be my fast one. So I had 6 rounds with a 6-minute cap of 15 single arm overhead squats, 30 double unders.
Oh, say it again. How many overhead squats?
15.
15 overhead squats.
15 overhead squats on one arm.
Okay.
30 double unders. Then you have to go to the other arm for the next round. So you're switching arms each round. So you're getting 3 rounds on each arm.
Okay, so 6 rounds total, but 3 with one side, 3 with the other side.
Right, but you have to alternate. So one round is going to be like whatever, it'll say like left arm first. So left arm,
got it.
15 overhead, then 30 double unders. Round 2, 15 on the right arm or the other arm, 30 overhead squats. Round 3 on the other arm. Round 4 on the other arm. Round 5 on the other arm. Round 6 on the other arm.
Got it.
15, 30 all the way down. That'll be that's my one of my speed rounds.
Okay, 15, 35. Wait.
No, I wanted it up. So I was gonna go the heavy one. This is 75.
70 and 50?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. I like that. All right, my test 2. This is more this is just me being me. I love one of the ways I practice getting better at double unders that I did this test constantly until I could break a certain time was called the flight simulator.
Oh yeah.
And if you've never done the flight simulator, it's 5 up to 50 by 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, all the way to 50 and back down to 5 of unbroken sets of double unders. And that's it. 50 all the way back down. If you broke at any set, you just had to start over on that set. You didn't have to start the test all the way over. And I did that constantly until I could break 7 minutes. And it took a while, but I got pretty good at double unders.
Right.
Now, what I want to do is I'm going to go 5, 10. So I'm going into the first half of Flight Simulator. So 5, 10, 50, all the way up to 45. You guys get the idea. Up by fives on the double unders. I think it comes out to 275 double unders. Actually, less than you. I don't know if I've actually programmed less double unders than you in any workout.
You're right. Seriously.
So double unders, and then 2, 4, 6, 8, all the way up from like 18 to 20. Let's get the idea. Increasing 2 each time. 16, 18, 20 of alternating dumbbell snatch at 70 and 50. 100 of those.
And your flight simulator, does it have to be unbroken?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Yeah. I'm being nice there.
Yes, you are.
So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, all the way up to 50 of double unders. And then a 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, all the way up to 20 of alternating dumbbell snatch with a 70-pound dumbbell. And my idea here is that, you ever been one of those like tractor pulls at a rodeo? You know what I'm talking about? Where they're like,
yeah,
they start the tractor and this thing that they're dragging just like digs into the ground and they can't get any further. That's what I look at this as. So like everyone's going to be able to start this. 5, 2, 10, 4s, 15, 6. That dumbbell's going to get heavy. People are going to get tired. They're going to get frustrated. It becomes much more of a dumbbell snatch test, really. But with fatigue shoulders and consistency, it's one of those like odd object stamina tests with a little bit of strength in there with the dumbbell.
What's the total number of dumbbell snatches?
100.
It's 100.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. What's the time frame you want?
I was thinking like 15 minutes.
Okay.
Whew. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that one. That's good. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun one.
Switching it up. Okay. The third competition floor, which is just the barbell 8 feet from the plyo box with a line through the plyo box. What do you have, Mr. Grumler?
I have, I took a page out of the last 2 events that look just like this one, minus the rower, obviously.
Okay.
So I did a 9-6-3 setup, but it's going to be 9-18 for your burpees. Actually, what I'm going to do is a clean and jerk and a burpee box jump over setup. Okay, so it's going to be 9 clean and jerks at 185, 135, 18 burpee box jump overs, but you have to clear the box.
Okay.
Then 6 and 12, and the weight goes up. So then 225.
And
then 3 and 6, and we go to 275.
That's awesome.
And I'm going to make it
185, 225, 275?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what is that? 135, 155, 190?
Yeah, 185.
185, 90, whatever that number is.
I think they've done 175 typically for the women.
They could do 180.
They could.
And I would have them do the clear over. So I would do
nice.
Yeah. I had 30 and 24, but I
There's a happy JR Howell.
Right. I think just for the sake of what it is, I'll make it the 24 and 20.
Okay. 24 and 20. Okay. I had that almost exactly.
Serious?
On my first run. And then I tinkered a little bit. And as I tinker, I'm realizing that I have a lot of volume here. So let me start this. No, I did not say Dylan.
You called me in to play.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. So I have something similar. And so what I did is I looked back on something as well. And what I looked back on was the 20.4 test that had clean and jerks in it. So I still have clean and jerks in mine. And then I mixed it with the, 17-1 test of dumbbell snatches and burpee box jump overs. And so what it's going to be 15. What did I have? Yeah, 15 burpee box jump overs, not clear overs. You're going to mix that with a rep scheme of 15, 12, 9, 6, and 3 of clean and jerks. So basically 5 rounds.
Okay.
We go 15 burpee box jump overs, 15 clean and jerks. 15 burpee box jump overs, 12 clean and jerks, 15-9, 15-6, 15-3.
What's the weight?
The weights will ascend.
Nice.
So they're gonna go 95, 135, 185, 225, and 275. So I have the back half of your numbers. And the same women's weights: 65, 95, 135, 155, 165. And this is where I want to test strength and capacity. Right? Like everyone gets to start, not everybody gets to finish. So that's mine.
Nice.
Test number 3.
You know what? Honestly, I would love for that workout to be in the open.
Yeah.
Because again, everyone can play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So we'll see.
What's your time frame on that? Oh, I said
I don't know, 15 burpee box jump overs, like that's 60 to 90 seconds per.
mm-hmm.
So 5 of those, 10, I don't know, this might be a 15-minute.
Okay.
15 reps at 95, 12 reps at 135. 3 minutes. Say if you gave everybody like 3 minutes per per couplet, I feel like that's generous.
Yeah.
So 15 minutes.
I think I had mine at 9 minutes. I don't know if you had that up there or not.
I'll put it on there.
Yeah.
All right. Floor plan number 4. As we said earlier, it's just a rower and a GHD.
Yep.
So what do you got?
So this is a descending, ascending set between the couplet. So 50 GHDs, 10 calorie row. 40 GHD, 20 calorie row. 30 GHD, 30 calorie row. 20 GHD, 40 calorie row. 10 GHD, 50 calorie row. Why? Because I want the row to count at the end. So that's why I put it on the back end. Because now we're going to have to see everybody just going 50 calories really, really hard. Did you write it the exact same way?
I wrote the exact same.
That's because it's so damn good. That's why. It's so damn good.
Bill, for the exact reasons.
Yeah.
What the
Well, how many times have we talked about this, though? You know, I mean, we've already said 150 GHDs is an appropriate amount for these competitors.
Oh.
We now know that we can break it up, and we want the row to count instead of just having it in there as some like, all right, go row first and make it a bind and then race on the GHD. So this right here makes it so the row counts. And it's awesome. Hey, great job on your programming,
I
by the way.
text this. Hey, I'm always a big fan of ascending and descending with other movements. So 10 to 50 on the cows and 50 to 10 on the sit-ups. It puts more emphasis on row capacity, but also opposing type couplet. Oh.
It's nice. All right, well, get ready. That if we both came up like that, you know it's going to come out that way.
Like I get being close, like the box jump over and then clean and jerks. Yes, JR, because I texted to JR. JR, did I not say this? I mean, I was reading it. But the fact that it was the same.
Yeah.
Like not 10 to 50 or 50 to 10 of both. And then like we put the row first and then the G, like we did the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't write it down because I had to just stop. Like, I'm like, there's no way. No way. Okay, so we both. Okay, we both put Al row, or no, you put GHCs first, right?
I did GHCs first.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to end on the row.
50, 40,
50 to 10, yeah.
30, 20, 10. GHD sit-ups. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50.
Row.
Cal row.
That's a lot.
Son of a bitch. I'll
Jeez,
just
could you imagine?
over here and put the same thing down. That's what we both had.
That's cool.
Wow. I mean, I
But
say
right?
this too much, but like, God, I hate us.
Yeah, but like it's so cool. Like it's so simple, and it's all the things that we have been talking about so many different times on the show.
Mhm.
How many times does everyone have to make the row a buy-in? Now it's not the buy-in. Like we actually get to see the race at the end, which is is the worst. It's the worst.
Cows at the end after all that work.
Oh my God. Your midline, your hip flexor to just smoke.
Yeah. And JR says, I can't see them putting GHD with pistols for the third year in a row. And that's the thing with like the two, like the dumbbell jump rope, like you don't need a floor plan for that. So you could put a third movement in there.
Right.
For the GHD and the row, like you don't need a floor plan for that just because it can all move anywhere you want. I could see, even though we both didn't have it, them being a third movement in one of those, like a pistol.
And I didn't want to play that.
I didn't either. And I feel the same with JR. Is like, we don't need to do the same couplets 3 years in a row.
No. God, no.
Already done. Multiple years.
Yeah.
So, all right, Bill, final one. We have, and this is the one that like had me scratching my head. Pull-up rig, climbing rope, barbell. Pull-up rig, climbing rope, barbell. What do you think the final test is going to be?
There have been so many years, especially in the open, where even actually in all the different stages, we've seen a variation of Fran. So I think that this will be some sort of a variation of that. What I did was a time banking sort of setup, kind of like what you had for your last open one. But this will be set up in 3-minute segments. So you start off with 2 rounds of 1 rope climb, 9 thrusters, 9 chest to bar.
1 rope climb,
9 thrusters, 9 chest to bar. You do that twice. 115 and 75 is the thruster weight.
9 chest to bar?
Yeah.
Okay.
9 and 9.
199.
199. Okay. After that, you have 2 rounds of same thing. 1 rope climb, 12 thrusters, 12 chest to bar. And as you have a 3-minute block for that as you make your way through each of the rounds, you're banking time until you get to the end. It'll go up 3 reps every time. So round 1 is the 9 set of 9s. 2 rounds of the 9s.
And this is just for the thrusters and chest to bars.
Yeah, the rope stays the same, but basically you're doing a rope before every single set of thrusters and pull-ups or of the chest to bar. So 1 rope climb, 9 thruster, 9 chest to bar. 1 rope climb, 9 thruster, 9 chest to bar. That's your first round. Okay. Continue on. Then you go 1 rope climb, 12 thruster, 12 chest to bar. 1 rope climb, 12 thruster, 12 chest to bar. 1 rope climb, 15 thruster, 15 chest to bar. 1 rope climb, 15 thruster, 15 chest to bar. Then 18s, then 21s, then 24s.
Keep
until
going.
you run. Until you run out of time, and we'll have I didn't finish the time frame on this one. I was thinking that probably the 21s would be 21s, 24s. If you're looking at the 21s, I mean, if you have 3 minutes, you would have banked a lot of time in the beginning, or at least a decent amount of time in the beginning. It would have evened out in the middle, and then that 18 to 21, I think, is where you'd start getting people. Since the set of 21, I mean, that's basically Fran right there. And if you've done, what is that, 2.5, 3 Frans almost?
Yeah.
So, like, I don't see you getting past really the 21. So what is that? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So 15 or an 18-minute time cap, something like that.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
It'd be kind of ugly, right? Now, I was thinking originally, I'm like, okay, well, it's pull, because you have the rope climb as a pull. People consider that. And then you have chest to bar as a pull. But I didn't do legless rope climbs, which would be really pulling. Like if you're doing a regular rope climb, it's really not pulling, especially if you're only doing one. It's more of a static in between. So it doesn't allow you, and plus with the way they have their transitions, you would have to kind of move from segment, from element to element to element. And it's not like you're not really going to be using your arms like you would be on the chest to bar. It's going to be more for just kind of standing up on the rope rather than pulling up like a legless.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, I like that. I was going back and forth a lot. This is the one I had the most trouble with. I was trying to find the right rep scheme, movement patterns, and I was hoping I'd get some inspiration from you.
I didn't give you any?
Good. Okay. So this is mine. And I'm in the same camp as you as a little Franny thing. I wanted this to be my fast one, and I wasn't sure how to really do it. And so what I have is 21, 15, 9, sprint chipper style, 21 bar muscle ups, 15 thrusters at 185 and 135, 9 rope climbs.
I like that one too.
So 21 bar muscle ups, 15 thrusters at 185 and 135. And why? Because I think those movements of snatches and thrusters are very similar doable weights.
I agree.
Max thruster and your max snatch, I think, are for balanced, strong athletes are close to each other, as well as light ones. Right? It's like, oh, we're doing Fran with 95 and 65. Yes, you could probably do Fran with 95 and 65 power snatches too.
I agree. I think that'll be a good one. Wow, that would be a good one.
And then the rope climb at the end. So 21 bar muscle ups, 15 thrusters at 185 and 135, and 9 rope climbs.
Time frame?
Sub 10.
Okay.
Sub 10. So I think 21 bar muscle ups for the elite. They're obviously going to do that unbroken. Those that are not are going to be very broken. So think about like 3 minutes per. I don't think it's going to be 3 minutes to do 15 thrusters, but like if you're doing clusters and singles at the end, which may be the case, right? And then 3 rope climbs a minute. So one every 20 seconds by the end, like a cap of 9 minutes, where the fastest are probably sub 6. Not that like sub 2 minute one where it's just like, you can't make a mistake, eyes bleeding pace, where this is like, you have to, like, you can't fake this one. Like you're going to hurt during it, not after it.
Yeah.
But you're going to hurt after it, but not just only after it, if that makes sense. Like one, you're not going to want to repeat.
Well, that's actually a good question. Like, how do you see, like, what are the first events that are listed out? Do you think it's going to be, do you think it's going to be in this order? Do you think it's going to be, for the Friday, is it 3 events or 2 events? Do you think they're going to do? And the way I was thinking it was that they were going to have in this order, they would do the first 2 events on day 1 and the 3 on, from the way I had it set up, on day 2, because you have your one long one, which would be the second event on day 2. It's kind of short in the beginning, and then this one could be long depending how far you get, or it could be really short based on how, how far you can get through there. It could be, 6 minutes, 9 minutes, whatever.
Are you saying like what order would you do these in, or
would you adjust the order 1 through 5, or did you go workout 1?
I mean, I just went off the floor plans.
Right. Well, I did too. Did you see? Okay, so how do you see the event? What's the events first on day 1? 1 and 2, 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, right.
We only have 2 days, right?
No, you got 3. They get released on Thursday.
Oh, that's true.
Thursday to Friday, Friday to Saturday, Saturday to Sunday. So you have 3 days. And
Oh,
they're going to
that's
release
true.
them all at the same time. So you're going to get all of these at the same time. So the question is, what order should you do these in?
Well, should you do mine, you mean, or should you do yours, or or would they kick out?
I mean, yeah. We'll go through them.
Yeah.
So Bill's tests 1 to 5. You have basically like a pyramid chipper.
Mm-hmm.
50-foot handstand walk, 50 handstand push-ups. 50-foot handstand walk, 40 deadlifts, 225 and 155. 50 handstand walk, 30 ring muscle-ups. 50, 40 deadlifts, 50-foot walk, 50 handstand push-ups. So down and up, right?
Yeah.
Total 100 handstand push-ups, 80 deadlifts, 30 ring muscle-ups, a lot of push-pull hinge. Test number 2, 6 rounds, alternating right arm, left arm of 15 dumbbell overhead squats at 70 and 50 and 30 double unders. And then the next round, you'd switch to the other arm. So this is your sprint style test
Right.
of a single arm dumbbell overhead squat and double unders. And then, well, I guess I did do more double unders than you. Never mind. For some reason, I thought it was 10 rounds.
Well, I had that originally too. And then I also had it where it was going to be 45 double unders. So 15 and 45.
Oh, yeah.
But I wanted to push it. I wanted to push the basically like EMOM is what I wanted to push.
Got it. That makes sense. So that's your sprint 1. Test number 3, 9-6-3 clean and jerks, 18-12-6 burpee box clear overs.
Yeah.
Is it 24 and 20?
24 and 20.
24 and 20. Clean and jerk weights each round go up. Men 185, 225, 275. Women 135, 155, 185. That is your, I can probably make this bigger so people can see. How's that? Bill's old eyes. Test number 4, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. GHD sit-ups, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Calorie row. Wonderful.
It's a beautiful one. Man,
Test number 5.
Where'd you come up with that one?
I don't know. It says, hey, Bill, how did you think of something like that? God. Test number 5, 3 minutes per triplet of 2 rounds, 1 rope climb, 9 thrusters, 9 chest to bar pull-ups. And what was your thruster weight?
115 and 75.
115 and 75. Okay, so 2 rounds, 199. If you get it in 3 minutes, you advance. 2 rounds, 112-12. Another 3 minutes, 2 rounds, 115-15. So your thrusters and chest to bar pull-ups will increase 3 every 2 rounds they complete within the 3-minute time check. So as you get 2 rounds completed, you get an additional 3 minutes to complete. And then basically go until you can't go no more.
Yep.
Awesome. My test 1, 3 rounds for time, 15 overhead squats at 95 and 65 into 15 kipping handstand push-ups. Rest 1 minute, 3 rounds, 15 overhead squats and 10 ring dips. Rest a minute, 3 rounds, 15 overhead squats and 5 handstand walk lengths. That's test number 1. Test number 2, 5, 10, 15, 40, 45, up to 50 of double unders, and then 2, 4, 6, 8, 16, 18, up to 20 of dumbbell snatches, my weight being 70 and 50. The test number 3 is 15, 12, 9, 6, 3, coupled with clean and jerks. The weight goes 95, 135, 185, 225, 275, with 15 burpee box jump overs before each set of clean and jerks. Test number 4 is the exact same as Bill's, and we did not share this beforehand. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, GHD sit-ups, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 of calorie row. And then the final test of 21 bar muscle-ups, 15 thrusters at 185 and 135, and 9 rope climbs. Now, after seeing it, going through it, talking shop, is there anything you would tweak after the fact? Or
on as far as what? As far as what
after looking at it and talking through it and with other ideas getting kicked around the floor, and it's like, oh, maybe I'll do, like you said, I did 6 rounds, but maybe 10.
Yeah.
You would change right off the bat just after talking through it.
The one that I probably messed with it the most was the thruster chest bar one at the end. Okay. Originally it was 3 rounds, but I wasn't sure of the time frame. I was like, okay, do I do 3 rounds at 3 minutes? Is that going to be too much? Are they not going to get very far into that? Mm-hmm. Do I do 3 rounds at 4 minutes? And then I'm like, well, I want them to get into the volume, and I didn't have time to go back and look at how we have done how those have been done in the open way back in the day, where they would add the 3 reps every single time. I figured offhand it would be that I would relook at this one a little bit more just to make sure that like those time frames are going to work. The 2 rounds with the 3 minutes as you make your way through. I like what it is. I honestly, as I'm looking through this, I wouldn't even change the order if I was
Like
like
if
if
you
I
were, hey, you can pick any order you want, you would do it in this order as written.
well, I mean because well, no, probably not. Um, if I well, that's why and I don't like events like that. I don't like them where they give you 5 events and they can like, well, you can pick whatever you want because then all of a sudden now that becomes a whole nother game within the game, you know. Obviously, depending on the type of person you are, if you have low back is not your thing, then I would not want to start off with like, you know, the high volume deadlifts or anything where you're doing a whole lot of hinging. I would put that more towards the end when, okay, if you have to blow something out, you're going to blow it out. And you can be done at that point. The problem is that we have the hinging on or I have the hinging on the deadlifts, but then I also have the GHD and the rowing event, which is a lot of going to be pulling and posterior chain on that side as well too. So I would just say, you know what, just I would go with this one.
Okay.
I would go that order because I think I tried to do a lot of back and forth between relatively fast and a little bit longer so that there's a balance. So it made it to where like now, unless you want to do 2 long ones in a row, it kind of throws your day a little bit. So
yeah. I would definitely try to do your first one as late as possible.
Right. No, I know. That's what I mean. If you're a hinging type person, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, that would probably be the last one.
Okay.
I mean, and you could probably do, I mean, honestly, I wanted the fun finish at the end to see where you could go. But if you, I mean, that could be one that could be done in the beginning. It's really not going to break you off that much. I mean, it's, you know, lighter-ish weight thrusters and chest to bar pull-ups, not a big deal. So even if you get into, you know, one of the high rounds, I think most of the better athletes are going to be able to recover from that. They're not going to be broken from that going into anything else. So
yeah. Okay. I like it.
yeah.
For myself, I definitely was thinking about this as I was going through it. In my
I really like that last one you have.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like that one.
It was all due to our conversation throughout. I just couldn't hand anything, and then you said thruster, and I was like, okay, there we go. You Bill. That's why I make you go first. I always come to the table with like just one, just out there in the wind, like no shot. I'm going to think of this until Bill starts talking. So for my first one, I don't think I have actually changed much. 45 handstand push-ups, 30 ring dips, 5 lengths of handstand walks. So that's 125 feet per. So 1, 2, 375. I mean,
is that what you think they'll pick or what you'd like them to pick?
I would like them to do well, except for the ring dips.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I just saw just looking at it, I was like, I couldn't shake it. So I was like, I think this is one of more of like, I think this might be it. Cause I see a wall, I see rings. We've already had rings. I could see a weird like ring dip thing come out that we've never seen before as the new thing.
Yeah.
And totally just like everyone screws it up and that's all we talk about. But like an ascending, it's like what I wanted in 23.3 and didn't get and what I could see with this based off the floor plan. If that makes sense.
No, totally.
And I just wanted to see some high volume squats in there with an overhead position because we did no squats in the open. And this movement, particular with overhead squats, would be seriously challenging.
Right.
The only one I actually kind of want to change, I just have a lot of descending rep schemes in here. So
I honestly, that was something that I thought about. Like my initial, before I even sat down to just kind of like fiddle, was a lot of that kind of stuff. Exactly the same type of thing. 30, 20, 10.
Right.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Like, can't have that on everything.
What I would maybe change, probably test 2. Because the other ones, I like these numbered formats. Obviously, the inverted one, the 12, 9, 6, 3, but 15s, like that's a mash combo. Like we've seen that before in a sense. It's not increasing, but we have seen increasing reps in that rep scheme before. maybe rounds for time for this test.
Okay.
So like 10 rounds of, okay, how about this?
40 and 8.
I was thinking that or something similar to the first open workout ever programmed. So like an AMRAP, remember the double unders and this light snatches?
Yeah.
So that was 75 and 55,
Oh shit, that's
right?
right. Yeah.
But with a barbell.
Yep.
And what was it, like 30 and 15, I think?
Mhm.
Like, I think that's way too much. But I was thinking it's like maybe an AMRAP of a 10-minute AMRAP, 30 double unders, and 10 alternating dumbbell snatches with a 70.
I like that too.
Just to put a totally different, like I don't have any AMRAPs in here. So looking at that AMRAP in 10 minutes, double unders, I'd put at 30, and then alternating dumbbell snatch, 10. It's called a day. It's heavy. It's only 10. It's only 30, and it's only 10 minutes. So like no one's gonna get beat up. Like 100 dumbbell snatches and the almost 300 double unders I could see. Even though like if you keep an EMOM here, like you'll still get there.
Yeah.
But it's not guaranteed. And so now everybody gets a little opportunity.
I get it.
But after that, like I don't want to change anything.
I like that.
But the clean and jerks and the burpee box jump overs, I think, is any form of that. I think it's on its way.
I kind of don't know what else it could be. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Do you think
could
something?
Huh?
Do you think Boz will bring in a repeat from somewhere?
I really hope not.
I feel like that's probably going to be the case.
If it does, I mean, it could very easily happen on that one particular event. I mean, the floor plan looks exactly the same. I don't see the need for it. I mean, the open is kind of like the chance to test your fitness and see where you are and see if you've improved.
Mm.
Now we're trying to qualify. Like the game has changed.
We're finding
now.
the fittest field now.
Right. Now it's not about like, oh, we're all included. No, like we're past all that. Now it's competition time, and you need to line up so that your best people get out there. And I mean, I think that you could do an event. I mean, obviously, we made two that were very similar to what that was.
Mhm.
So do that. I mean, there's a lot of options you could do with that. You could do a descending rep scheme. You could do a straight sprint. You could do however you want to do it. So I don't see the need to repeat.
Yeah.
Especially not now. The race is the race. So put us out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple questions that came up before was, well, okay, so I'll have a theoretical question for you. I know people want to see the tests get released in a 24-hour window each cycle. So say 2 tests get released Thursday. Once that window closes, the next 2. Once that window closes, the next 1 or whatever. I feel like you would like that format.
Yes, I would. 100%. I've been wanting that kind of stuff for the longest time because it makes, again, if you're gonna put everybody on the line, put them on the same line. We just talked about how we would shuffle the order of this particular competition, and everyone's going to do that based on their abilities, their needs, their strengths, their weaknesses, which is fine. But if you went to a live competition, you wouldn't get to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to do event 4 first because I'm better at that one. I need to do really well. So, I mean, make everyone do the same competition, which is you have to do event 1 and then event 2 and then event 3 and then event 4 and then event 5 all the way through. How that gets done, I mean, again, they're still working on that kind of stuff. I mean, if there's any app type people out there, I have all kinds of great ideas that are going to make me and whoever else wants to partner up with me millions. But we just have to I have to get a way to do it. And it would just make it easier. It makes it fair. Competition is get everyone on the line, the same line.
Fair is a level playing field.
Yeah, totally.
Right. Not like the thing I hate hearing the most of the whiny crybabies of the world is like inclusivity.
Oh, no, I'm not talking inclusive. I'm talking if you want to race, you got to get on the same line
Get on
on the
starting line.
same day with everyone. Yeah.
The trick is like doing that format. One, they did it in the 2020 games, but it was with what, 30 people,
Right.
men and women, and each person had like their own judge and like rogue fitness package, right? Like, and it was really hard to do. To do that with thousands of people around the world in multiple time zones, like it's just logistically, it won't be the same line, right? So, for example, say they release all the tests at noon Pacific, 2 tests on Thursday. Some people will be sleeping. Some will get to do the test at noon, go to bed, wake up, and do it again. Some will have to do it all in the same day. Like it just, there's a way to do it, but you would have to like offset people's days.
100%. And I mean, when we used to do a bunch
You
of
get
stuff with
noon to
WOD
noon in
right.
your time zone. Like,
Right.
We're not doing that for the quarterfinals, folks. Like,
No.
we're not doing that. We did that for the CrossFit Games.
But what I'm saying though is you can still do where I mean everyone gets their stuff released now, and that's fine. Like
this
you know,
is one bill that Halpin just put out there.
well, and we have worked with WOD and we have done something like that. There was one of the events where we had 4 different time zones based on the world, and they had a 24-hour. It would get released. They would have 24 hours to do video and then record their score and put it up. So I mean, it can be done. It can be done.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of getting someone together to do that. Now you're right. We still have thousands of people that are involved in this right now, which we need to whittle down. However, I still think that you could very easily release a workout on Thursday that's due on Friday. And as you release a workout on Friday, it's due on Saturday. Release it on, I mean, because they do it now. I mean, yes, there are going to be some time zones where people are sleeping and maybe you cut the world in half. I don't know. But there are plenty of people now that see the open when it starts.
I get
They don't go, you know, I'm a competitor and
we have 4 days to do one workout.
Right. Right. I don't think it needs to be that. I think we can whittle it down.
One of those is like, yes, there are solutions, and every solution we have to make this happen makes this 10 times more complicated than it needs to be.
Yeah.
Yet it would create a fun, exciting, even playing field system, which is ridiculously challenging to do with a team that's already stretched and stressed to begin with, since, you know, we've been watching that happen over the open. But I'm with it, right? And I like the idea of having a watermark like Halpin just put out that, listen, like you can't upload this video. Like you can't do it on this day. Like it doesn't work. And that would be an easier solution. But then everybody have to use the same like video app. So you're gonna force everybody only to use.
Well, I mean, there are ways of doing that too. It's like when you sign up for the open or the quarterfinals or whatever.
Adding complexity to something that doesn't need to be complex. We can't even count shuttle runs right.
Well, that's totally true. But right now, when we watch the open, here is the official eating, the official bread of CrossFit. This is the official toilet paper of CrossFit. Here's the official stretching routine of CrossFit. Here's the official.
It's like, hey, if you want to go to semifinals, you must do this.
Use it on this
app because it's the app that's.
It's the app that we're using.
All right. Okay. I back off. It's a good point.
You know, it can be done.
I concede. The last one was floor plans, and floor plans created a bit of a problem in the open for people, mainly smaller affiliates or affiliates that just had their rig put up differently to maximize the space they had that didn't fit the floor plan for the test that was being programmed, or the garage gym affiliates. And I think you and I are in the same camp of scrap the freaking floor plans for the open unless you were trying to win the open.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, hey, if you're trying to win money, it must look like this. You must video it and you must upload it on the leaderboard.
Oh, that's perfect. That's a great idea. Yeah. If you want to be in the money, if you want to be in the running to win money.
Yeah. If you want to win,
then here's what the floor plan.
Video, floor plan, watermark, everything. You have to do all this if you're going to win money. So if you're Mal O'Brien and Jeffrey Adler, you should video everything, and you have to do it in these floor plans. If you're just in the open, just fucking do the workout.
Right.
Who cares?
Right.
Quarterfinals absolutely should have floor plans.
Yep.
It's a smaller demographic, it's a smaller field. And if you made the quarterfinals and you have aspirations because you know you're going to make semifinals and you work out of your garage, get into an affiliate and do the quarterfinal tests. Sorry. Like, you're a small, tiny fraction in this field. And if you're taking it seriously, it's awesome that you're kicking ass in your garage gym. I wish I had a garage gym that I could kick ass in. I don't yet. I'm working on it.
You will.
But it's quarterfinals. It's serious now. You're trying to get to semifinals, so take it seriously. We don't have to cater to your situation.
Go to your CrossFit gym.
Go to a CrossFit gym. Maybe they have 3 other people you can do it with. Right? And if you're qualified 30 people and you're like, oh, this fucks up our whole schedule. I'm like, well, that's what happens when you're awesome. Sorry. You're both on either side of the spectrum, none of which we should make rules for.
Damn it, it's Christmas time again. God, bah humbug.
Yeah. Oh, damn it. 40 of our members qualified for quarterfinals. Fuck these floor plans. I'm like, or you could just make it fun. I'm sure your members don't care.
Right.
Like,
right. I'm sure they'll be good.
But I get it. I'm not saying get over it. I'm just saying is like everyone has the thing. Those are the smallest things that we need to worry about. So I scrap the floor plans in the open, bring them to quarterfinals because it's serious, or do the same thing. If you are trying to qualify for semifinals, you have to video it, upload it to the leaderboard, and use these floor plans. If you are not trying to go to semifinals, then do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Except cheat.
Yeah, right.
But maybe we have those same rules. It's like, I'm like I just saw this. Like, I'm in my garage and I can't do all these tests. I'm trying to make semifinals. I'm like, okay, well then go to the CrossFit gym. How do you have a 15-foot rope that's in quarterfinals every year for the last 2 years now?
Why wouldn't, if you are a CrossFitter, why wouldn't you want to, if you didn't want to go to a CrossFit gym because you're advancing into these next stages, then you're trying to hide something, or you've got your like special really light bar and really light, like, really?
I get it. Everyone has
I can't do it in my own. Then go to a gym.
Go to a gym.
Go to the place where you're supposed to race and race.
It'll be much more fun.
Man, like, it'd be.
Anyways,
yes.
So I'm in the camp. If you are not trying to make something, then do whatever you want. Put your rower next to the rig and like have fun. Go for it. Be tested. If you're trying to qualify for something or make money, you must have a video, public on the leaderboard with a floor plan. Done. And then I feel like a lot of our problems are gone.
Yeah.
As far as logistics. And now your video's on the leaderboard that everybody gets to watch and judge you if they have their judges course, which was, we could do a whole episode on that. Hiller tried to, and then he got like a cease and desist letter. Somebody like, go to the gym.
Go to the gym.
Philip, you want to hear it? Okay. Do whatever the fuck you want. I don't know.
Creepy.
Creepy? I don't know. Is that like an ASM? What is that like? The thing that Velcro ripping in the background. Yeah, if you've seen this guy, this is actually a guy on Instagram. He looks like a Viking.
Oh yeah.
Puts out his coffee and is like, go to the fucking gym.
Yeah.
All right, team. Dude, we had 150 people in here partying with us today. That was awesome.
A lot of good workouts for you guys to try. If you guys try our workouts, tell us.
Yeah, if you try it. If you guys follow us on Patreon, thank you very much. We do appreciate it. We will post these for you specifically. If you are not a Patreon, just rewatch this and screenshot that shit all you want. Or Venmo me $10 and I'll send it to you. Hope you guys had fun. I know we had fun. We're excited. These will drop on Thursday. I think sometime it should be noon Pacific, I believe, is when it should all go down. But we're pumped to have it. I like your tests.
I like yours, dude.
Thanks, bro.
I like your number 4 especially.
Yeah, your number 4 was like, you're a genius.
Genius.
I can't.
If CrossFit doesn't take that one from you, they're fucking idiots.
We're the worst. We are the absolute worst. I still can't get over that. To the detail, Same test.
Per the reason, even
Detail, reason, like
the intent,
chances,
everything.
Oh, gosh, we're the worst. I don't know why you guys stick around and listen to this shit, but we do appreciate it. We hope you guys had fun listening to us. In the comments, drop your tests, what you think it's going to be. We'd love to see that because you guys inspire our creativity as much as we hope we inspire your creativity. So throw it in the comments on YouTube. Obviously, we just said if you follow us on Patreon, we'll send those up to you after this. And if you are competing in quarterfinals, best of luck. Have fun. And if you're shooting for semifinals, get those measurements right.
Oh, man, seriously, get them right.
Right. All right, team. Good luck the rest of the week. Good luck this weekend. We'll see you guys on the back end when we analyze what went down.
Bye, guys.